strategies for detection, for prevention, for treatment. Kaya siguro kung nalulula po tayo dun sa 120-something billion na hinihingi po ng programa for 6 years, kung bibilangin po natin 100 pesos lang po yan sa bawat Pilipino ngayon. Kulang siguro, baka dapat mas mataas pa po. Kasi bakit napakamahal po ng mga stratehiyang kailangan natin ipasok para makalaban tong sakit na to. It's very labor intensive, I would say. No, I think that's one of the biggest components. Kailangan po talaga natin ng tao na makipagkapwa-tao para makuha yung trust ng pasyente na hindi siya mahiyang magsabi na meron po akong TB, meron pong may TB sa bahay namin, may mga bata na nangangailangan po na malaman kung meron silang TB para po magamot hindi lang yung nag-iisang may sakit, who is the tip of the iceberg, but the base, who are the exposed, the infected, and finally the one who's sick. So sa bawat taong may sakit, siguro hindi lang sa 10 yung nasa paligid niya na kailangan pa ng iba't ibang strategiya para magamot ng tuluyan, hindi lang yung may sakit, kung hindi yung pamilya niya, and by extension, the community. So, siguro, kung may isang maitutulong ang legislation na ito, apart from focusing on the need, which is super important, it's putting teeth on that need by investing where we need it, which is providing the funds. Hindi siya imposibleng gamutin kasi if we think about it, there are many countries in the world where TB is history. It's no longer their problem. Pero, kung nagawa natin ng paraan yung iba pang mga pinagdaanan nating sakit, we always reference COVID, dapat ito kaya din natin kasi nandiyan na naman yung mga strategiya at saka yung mga gamot na kailangan. Siguro, we just need to invest and this legislation is really an important first step in that investment. Thank you po.
Thank you, Dr. Ana. Yung binanggit mo na baka yung 120B for 6 years, which is actually only 20B a year, is even smaller, 100 pesos per Filipino. That is a great way also to make the case for how cost-effective this is. Also, consistent siya sa Universal Healthcare Law na every peso we spend for preventive and promotive healthcare saves us how many pesos dun sa tertiary care level, no? So, it's value for money aside from the humanitarian aspect. Kaya ang ganda po nung pagbibigay nyo ng diin sa ito'y pakikipagkapwa-tao, which underlines all our work in health. So thank you very much po, Dr. Ana. Are there any other CSOs and patients organizations who would like to speak dito sa situation natin, assessment at saka amendments? Yes po, please come forward. Pagpakilala po kayo, ma'am. Patient group representatives, yeah, at saka CSOs. Assessment, views, amendments.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm Florida Galida, the Secretary of the Philippine Alliance to Stop TB. With regards po dun sa discussion natin ngayon, gusto ko lang pong i-stress yung kahalagahan po ng maisama din sana natin sa PhilHealth package or kung saan namang social protection program yung rehabilitation po ng ating mga TB patients. Kasi po, although TB is curable, yung kanyang damage sa katawan ng tao, irreversible po. Pati rin po yung mga adverse drug reactions from taking anti-TB meds. So meron po tayong mga dating mga pasyente na nabingi, meron din pong mga nabulag, meron namang nakaranas din ng neuropathy or yung pamamanhid ng kanilang mga lower extremities. And lahat po yun ay kadalasan ay hindi na po bumabalik sa normal. So madalas po nating makaligtaan yun. Maliban po dyan, meron din po tayo dating mga kasamahan na talagang hanggang ngayon pinagdurusahan nila kung ano yung naging epekto ng gamot sa kanila. So kung yun po ay makikita ng mga tao, gumaling nga yung TB, nabulag naman or nabingi or namanhid naman ang kanyang mga paa. So, sana po maisama din siya sa ating programa. And maliban doon, yung pong ating PhilHealth package, mali talaga. Kasi nga po, kung 7,800, hindi lang naman po gamot ang need ng ating mga pasyente. Mahalaga po yung regular na monitoring. Kasi po yung mga nabanggit ko na mga sitwasyon, lalo na po sa adverse drug reactions, preventable naman po yan eh. Kaya lang, paano natin mapiprevent yan kung kulang ang staff sa health center? Kung kulang yung nagmo-monitor sa kanila. Di ba po? So yun po yung ating mga issues na nire-raise po namin bilang mga civil society organizations na sana po ay mabigyan din po ng pansin. Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Thank you rin po, Ms. Florita. Hindi ko rin naisip dati bago kayo nagsalita itong aspeto ng rehabilitation. So mahalagang na-bring nyo sa atensyon ng ating komite. Yung PhilHealth package ay maliit at mukhang sa karanasan po ng mga people living with and advocating about TB, hindi pa nako-cover yung monitoring. So I hope, ito po ba ay kasama sa review at posibleng lumabas sa expanded PhilHealth package tungkol sa mga TB? Dr. Lala?
Yes, Madam Chair, actually the monitoring aspect in terms of follow-up labs or on-treatment laboratories and other diagnostics are part of the package that we will be releasing soon.
So kung meron ng aspeto ng monitoring or follow-up na kino-cover na ng PhilHealth package, baka sa tulong din ng TWG ng komiteng ito, pwedeng tignan kung paanong mapalawak pa sa full range ng rehab na sinabi ni Ms. Florita. Yes, Dr. Lala.
Madam Chair, hihirit na rin ako. Actually, one of the concerns that we got during our FGDs is that these LGUs, their concern is, if right now they're DOH or project funded dependent. Now, so once PhilHealth releases this set of packages, what we hear from them actually is the ability or the access to procurement. Apparently, the market is still centralized here in NCR, and we're talking to people from Mindanao and the Visayas, and they're saying even if we reimburse the packages, the next concern will be how near do they access and buy the supplies. Yun lang po, Madam Chair. Thank you. I hope that being included in the amendments to this bill po. Thank you po.
Thank you, Dr. Lala. Siguradong masasama kung lagi naman sumasali ang DOH sa TWGs, di ba? So salamat po para doon. And DILG, any reflection, insight dun sa sinabi ni Dr. Lala, yung current limitations or problems about procurement and actual purchase? Wala pa ang DILG. Nako, most wanted department sa hearing natin. Sige po, susulatan na lang po namin sila. Okay. Okay, and then yung kulang sa staff sa health center, syempre perennial concern ng DOH, ano po, yung ating health human resources. Would DOH like to add anything about that sa ngayon? Dr. Charis?
Yes, so when we do field monitoring, that's one of the concerns of our LG, especially that the drug-resistant TB cases, we are decentralizing already our services to that. So previously, the management of drug-resistant TB cases are in treatment centers or in hospitals, but now to improve access to this DRTB services, we have allowed decentralization of this, and that's why there are some frontline health workers that is manifesting that they need more people to do the follow-up of these cases as well, and management. Over.
So, ibig sabihin po, Dr. Charis, magiging concern na ng LGUs yung staffing sa mga health centers?
Yes po. Madam Chair, if I may add lang po,
Yes, Dr. Ana.
with respect to the health human resource po natin, siguro ito po yung isang component that PhilCat has been able to support for some time already, in the sense na hindi lang po nakatuon dun sa pagbibigay ng gamot, yung trabaho ng ating staff in the local government units, kung hindi yung documentation, kung sila po ba ay compliant, sila po ba ay gumaling, ano na po ang naging outcome nila. So dahil nga po itong sakit na ito ay nakakahawa, we need to be able to keep accurate records to be able to forecast what we need and anticipate what can happen. And those documentation takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. And what has been happening is PhilCat, together with other CSOs, has been providing the manpower complement to be able to achieve this documentation. So siguro kung titignan na lang po natin yung programa from top to bottom, we really do need to add health human resources as part of the mix to be able to address this problem effectively. Kasi nga po, yung pondo naman na ginagamit ng mga CSO is very heavily dependent on outside funders.
Salamat, Dr. Ana. But that's admirable if a CSO is providing, kumbaga, force multiplier, no, to DOH or to our LGUs. And before I call Ms. Louie, so yung aspeto po ng decentralizing the cases to improve access, so that will also be an opportunity and a challenge dun sa concern nga ng LGUs about also about procurement. So more health tasks devolved also to the LGUs. Yes, Ms. Louie.
And in connection with international funding, we're dependent on that one for DRTB. We are also fully providing baseline laboratories for DRTB and monthly. But when it comes to the drug susceptible, only X-ray and sputum testing. So all of the patients that we're actually providing treated body system, most of them have diabetes, mental health, poor nutrition, and then they don't have baseline laboratories before they start the medication. And it turns out that they will actually have mutated TB because of diabetes. So we need to provide a doctor health and also extrapulmonary laboratories, MRI, ultrasound, CT scan, biopsy. Of course, we have to promote, of course, ethics. I'm part of the ethics committee of Global Fund, and before they leave the country, we hope to provide it also for the protection, for sexual exploitation, abuse and harassment, child protection code of conduct, because most of the time, the patient would ask, can I have a biopsy support? Unless the patient will become a girlfriend of the counselor. So we have to really look for ways to protect them from these kinds of harassments po.
So buong ecosystem ito, no, na hindi lang gumaling ang tao sa particular na sakit, kung may sakit tayo, pero ayun, may nagbanggit kanina na in the bills we really frame health as rights-based. So rights-based approach yung ating response sa mga health concerns natin in every aspect, responsive and also preventive and protective. Okay, so unless may iba pang CSO, patients organization who would like to speak to our TB bills, we again thank our resource persons and all guests for your valuable input on this our second agenda for today. As we move forward, ending TB demands strong government leadership and accountability, empowered communities, and ulit-ulit, tingin ko importante sinasabi, locally driven solutions anchored din in global collaboration. So beyond this today's hearing on this second agenda, we invite position papers from all stakeholders, especially civil society, patient groups, and TB survivors, and request our committee secretary to prepare the committee report or substitute bill on a national TB elimination program. And muli sa lahat, maraming salamat. This hearing on the bills for consideration regarding the TB elimination program is now adjourned. Kumain na po tayo dahil may dalawa po tayong agenda. Kasi magandang tanghali na po. Okay. So, tuloy-tuloy lang. Again, everyone is free to go to the bathroom if you need to. And bon appetit. Naku, sorry, hindi pa lahat ay may plato na. Pero magkakaroon po tayo. So, next in our agenda today are several bills responding to the need to institutionalize a national program on autism spectrum disorder.